Yeah, I
Right.
missed the quali fucking.
Technical issues as always.
Yeah.
Right, I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it has come through on my
Yeah, that's
channel
came.
now.
Yeah, I can see it.
Right, well, it looks like we got a couple of people who have made their way over. Right, right. Well, it looks like a Mercedes front row lockout. Ryan B
Yeah. And
taking
the
pole position. I wonder what the strategy is outside the top 10.
outside the top 10, everyone except for Ibbles opted for the medium tyres, with Ibble opting for the softs.
Okay, Ibbo's got a strategy. He is going to be flying.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if Ibble can make soft tyres work from 19th on the grid.
Yep, as we got the predicted tyre strategy coming here for Jav right now, who ended up third. What a lad!
Yeah.
Once again, guys, I want to apologise for the lateness of the stream. It was an issue with YouTube and PlayStation. It just wouldn't let me. It said it was broadcasting on my end, but the stream wasn't coming through the LOE channel. For some reason, it wasn't happening. So we have missed qualifying because we didn't even notice that the stream didn't go through until like 5 minutes to go or so. But I do believe did you record the rest of quali?
Yes.
Happy day. So I can smash that together and chuck it up on the LOE YouTube channel as a video. Right. So everyone now coming onto the grid, and this is going to be an interesting race as we got Ibo and Alt Maverick now rounding out the grid, and we just gotta wait for those 5 red lights, and here they come. They are out and we are underway. I did not see the 5 red lights on my screen, but it looks like Java's got a fantastic start as we got a bit of a timing glitch as Jav down the inside of, I believe that is James. Yes, it is. As we got a lot of carnage in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah, let's see. Slayer and some other people have ended up spinning.
Yeah, a lot of carnage in the background. There, I do have the timing glitch with people bouncing up and down the
Yeah,
time
so,
order.
so do I.
It's going to be tricky to keep an eye on what's going on, but right now it is James who leads ahead of Jav as Philip tries to have a little luck down the inside, but thinks better of it. Ryan B dropping a few positions off the start, now under pressure from Invictus and United Bosnia.
Well, dropping a few positions off the start is not too big of a deal here because with the long straights, it's not impossible to overtake around this French circuit.
No, I mean the DRS train is quite nice, and as we said in the broadcast that never happened, very easy to pick up penalties around you.
Yes, it is. So it'll be interesting to see if people go for sort of more
Ooh,
aggressive but risky moves.
swip into the pits.
Yeah, that's an interesting strategy, Phil.
That is a very interesting strategy call out. A lap one pit stop damage is off. You know, he shouldn't
Yeah,
be.
switched on to the medium tires on lap one.
Well, that is interesting. Looks to me like the lobby has kind of sorted itself out now, and we got some more appropriate times coming in. As Ryan B has managed to get himself back ahead of Philip N, and is going to be looking to try and close down that gap to Jav.
Boys, Jav, right, getting quite close to the back of James in P1. We're separated by half a second. I've got more yellow flags. Finally back to the grid.
Oh, that's Ibo and Craigie.
Yeah.
So Ibo and Craigie coming together. They
And
usually
I've got
have some
United
great
Bosnia right
battles.
on the back of Invictus, going up this inside into... No, it's not quite went up since into is that turn 11, I think.
Yeah, it's turn 11.
It's dropped back a half second or so again.
I mean, it is smart. Just keep within DRS window and should be able to close back in. I'll tell you what, the person using the most ERS at the moment in that top pack is Jav, as he sets the fastest lap.
Yeah, Jav obviously pushing to make sure he can keep with James, trying to stay within that DRS range of a second, and also try and keep Ryan out of that DRS range from the back of him.
Yep, and that's going to be the mission right now for Ryan B to try and get within that DRS window.
I've got another slightly strange pit stop as Slayer also pits for mediums this time, a lap later than Swips did.
Okay, now this is incredibly interesting now, because I can't figure out what their strategy is.
No.
To my knowledge, safety car is not on.
I believe that's the case, yes.
So they pretty much just need to make up an entire pit stop.
Yeah, well, they're about, like, compared to the front of the field, they're about half a lap behind. We're only on lap 3.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. It might work for them running in clear A on their own.
Yeah, but
As Ryan
yeah.
B picking up the
Ryan B,
first.
I think that's our third person to get time penalties. I believe I saw Craigie and Cloudy Cloud picking up time penalties before.
Oh, and James just picked one
also
up.
picking up time penalty.
Mercedes picking up the time pens in tandem with each other. And that is not what you want to see. A big old X next to James's name.
So as harsh as this might sound, it's not an uncommon sight to see.
It is not an uncommon sight to see, but it is a scary sight to see. As Invictus looking to get the move done on Philip N for 4th place down the inside. He's going to go.
You've got what appeared to be Maverick going around the outside of Smitsky through turn 7.
Meanwhile,
With,
Stephen down the inside of Jasper. Smitsky trying to make a
oh,
similar. Oh, his Maverick is gone.
Yeah. I didn't see any contact there, but there might have been. It looked to me like Maverick just lost that on the curb.
Yeah, that's what it looked like from my angle as well. As we got Jasper really going out wide there in turn 11. Jasper's going to have to recompose himself to come back at Stephen. Wonder who's gained the most position so far. Let's have a look. It is Smitsky actually in 11th, up 6 places, as well as Alt Maverick.
Yeah, Alt Maverick up 6 positions even after that spin, which dropped him back 2 positions.
Yep, as Jasper and Stephen once again battling it out.
And got another person coming in for pit stops, Cloudy Clouds, heading for the hard tyres. So it looks like he's going to be trying to go to the end.
I mean, I think the odds can get to the end from here. They're going to be warned,
yeah,
but they should be able to.
More interestingly, this lap Ibo also came in and put the soft tyre on. Apparently.
Ibo's got a plan. We can't question Ibo's strategies right here. We know he has a plan. I'll tell you what, right now, Jav doing very well to stick to the back of James, and James actually into the pits.
Yeah. And James locking up his front wheels to make sure he could slow down the car enough to not pick up a stop go penalty for speeding.
Yes, and he's chucked on a set of mediums, so he's going for a 2-stop strategy.
I've got Invictus trying to pass Ryan B into turn 1, going around the outside.
Oh, he's
Ben's
pulled
made
it
that
off
work
as well.
Yeah, lovely move there from the McLaren driver. Though Ryan B doesn't seem to be just letting it sit at that, he's trying to come right back at him.
As Alt Maverick has retired and left the session.
Which isn't exactly helpful. The whole point of this race is to compare everyone's speed, even if you have a spin or something, you should still really stay.
Yep, that's the whole reason why we don't have damage on, but Ryan B closing all the way up to Invictus for second now.
He's also got United Bosnia right on his back. So we've got Ryan B there in what's basically a McLaren sandwich.
Yes, and one thing I'm looking at right now, it appears to me that a lot of guys in this lobby are not very good on the ERS. You have to go all the way down to DJ Mikey in 11th to actually...
Yeah. Get someone more than 50% battery.
Yeah. And James has left the session.
I would assume that that's a disconnect, not on purpose.
Yep, I would assume that as well.
And that's going to play wonderfully into Jav's hands now. It's Jav Invictus and Ryan B all jump into the pits, leaving United Bosnia to take the race lead for now.
Yep, and Deja Vu is actually going to be in a net race lead now in a minute. With,
Deja Vu doing well, lead of the medium starters.
Yeah, and let's not forget, he is going to be most likely doing the 1-stop soft to hard, so whereas the likes of Invictus will definitely be 2-stopping. No way he's taking the mediums to the end. Philip has chucked on a set of soft tyres, so he's definitely 2-stopping.
Yeah, and James has now reconnected, just waiting to see if he can retake control of his car, but Jav has emerged from the pits ahead of him.
And on hards as well.
I didn't notice that James has gone for mediums, as well as Invictus with Ryan B going for those hard tyres. There's definitely plenty of variation and strategy in this race.
Yeah, and I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued of what we're going to see happen here.
But I mean, going purely by what is the
Philip
optimum
has just
strategy,
got past. Philip's just got past James there.
Going purely by what would be the optimum strategy, you'd assume that Jav's basically going to walk away with this. They already had, like, him and James were already pulling ahead of everyone else, and now he's got a nice bit of clear air where he is as well.
Yep, as we got Sven into the pits now, United Bosnia carrying on for another lap.
Yeah, I want to know what
Oh,
he's
James is
planned
gone
on.
again,
James
and
gonna get
Jav.
back.
Oh no, Jav in the final corner, losing the back end massively. And that's going to be Philip right on his back.
No, I don't know if Jav will fight Philip too hard. Since, after all, Philip is on 2 steps off the tyres, and Jav picking up a 3-second time penalty through turn 2. That's not going to help him out at all.
Yep, Invictus gets past James there, as Ryan B will be the next one to go through the ghosted car. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah.
But this is
like,
actually going to be heartbreaking
like,
for James.
Yeah, but looking at Jav, looks like he is actually trying to defend a bit from Philip. An interesting choice from the Renault driver.
Here's the thing, Jav will need to try and defend a bit, because if Philip gets a big enough gap, he's going to be right on his rear at the end of this race.
Yeah, but it's a surprisingly long pit stop here, so we'll have to pull out about 20, somewhere between 20 and 24 second lead over Jav in order to pull off a pit stop.
Now we have United Bosnia into the pits, and this should be for a set of hards, I think. Yep, hards on that car.
Yeah, and I've lost all my intervals, so I can't see them.
Yeah, same. Bosnia should be coming out around where James is, I think, maybe just behind him.
There's James just going past that, right as United Bosnia leads the pits.
That could have been quite dangerous there.
Yeah. Oh, and Invictus now picking up a 3-second time penalty. But I get the feeling that whoever wins this race is just going to be whoever towards the front has the least time penalties.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the way it'll end up going. But as we are seeing right now, we have a very interesting mix in strategy right now.
Yeah, basically everyone that's pitted so far has decided to go from a different, or at least a slightly different idea from everyone else. Whether that's just pitting a lap later or a lap earlier, or going for a completely different completely different comp on the tyres. So yeah, this could end up being a really interesting race.
I wonder, if anyone's going to try the old strategy from last year's game where they went mediums to softs.
I think it could be possible, but the amount of time that you'd have to spend on really worn tyres, I don't think you gain any time from it.
Nah,
I think you'd lose time.
Yeah, I think you would lose time from it, but I mean, we don't know how much race practice anyone's done on you, and the setups could be very kind on the tyres. As Philip streaking past Jasper now up into 5th.
Yeah. Oh, and Philip picking up a time penalty there as well, and United Bosnia and someone else I couldn't quite catch. DQ. So lots of time penalties coming in now.
Yep, they're coming in thick and fast.
The leader.
Well, it is pretty much follow the leader from 2nd place all the way down to 8th.
Yeah.
Looks like Jav is going to be close to making a move here on DJ Mikey down the inside. This is like Jav reborn. He is now on the inside of Jasper.
Yeah, Jav definitely not waiting around for tyres to come into this. It's Philip now fighting with his Phil Williams Jordan and immediately going for a move on Smitsky.
Yeah, this is these two are making very quick work of the drivers in front of them.
Yeah. But I guess it's fair enough for Philip, he is on the soft tyres compared to the mediums as the cars around, but Jav's on the hards. And yet he's still lapping fast enough to these guys to make quite easy work of.
I mean, Jav said that he wanted to get a pole around here. He is doing good at the moment. He might be able to get a podium out of here. So this might be one of his better tracks.
I mean, it's looking likely that the wind's going to come down. I mean, win on track's probably going to be between Philip and Jav. But it just depends on time penalties who actually walks away with that win.
Yep, whoever can be the cleanest on the track limits will definitely...
And then also, we can't count out Deja Vu either, I'd say.
Well, I think Dave definitely could be a good shout as we were on board with Jasper, who's just gone to the curb and wheel spun up into the wall there. I was actually on board with Jasper for that.
I've got Invictus and DJ Mikey. We're going wheel to wheel there.
Oh, as Mikey actually hits the back of Invictus, and that's a bit of a half spin from it.
Yeah, now he's got Ryan B all over the back of him.
Jav getting the move down on Smitsky. And here we go, Dave into the pits as well as Philip and... Oh no, Philip's gone on.
Yeah, Steven.
I saw the Williams, it was Jordan.
I still can't tell who is going to end up net P1 though, after Philip goes for his next pit stop. I mean, you could assume it'll be Jav, because Philip doesn't really seem to be pulling ahead, but you never know what's going to happen.
Invictus and Ryan B are right there on the back of Jav.
Yeah. If they start fighting, that could really slow Jav down.
Oh, it's not just that. I mean, they both have DRS, whereas Jav has nothing. And Invictus is naturally going to be quicker on this compounder tyre.
Now, as Invictus looking up the inside into the second sector chicane, not quite able to signal him, but he's going for into the fast right-hander at start sector 3.
Yeah, absolutely
and,
flying. That was just the grip of the tyres. The traction he got at the chicane there was immense compared to Jav.
Yeah, but then Jav also made it really easy for him, didn't try to defend that at all by the looks of things.
It's looking like we're gonna have a battle between Jav and Ryan B for a majority of this race, until Invictus, Philip, and potentially James as well close up in the latter stage.
We've got DJ Mikey coming into the pits this lap.
Oh, that is close between Jav and Ryan B. Big old squeeze there from the Renault on the Mercedes.
It was not quite enough to keep the Mercedes behind. And with DJ Mikey making his stop, that's everyone now stopped at least once. So a few people needing to make another pit stop at some point.
Yep, and I tell you what, even though he pitted at the end of lap 1, Swip JMB up in 7th right now.
Yeah, he's doing well to fight up there, but I mean, he'll be incredibly hard pressed to get those tyres even past, I'd say, about lap 16. They'll start to really slow down.
Here we go, Sven down the inside. A little bit of contact made there, but Sven does get the move done. And Dave not too far behind as well, so this is going to be interesting because Dave was still ahead of Philip when he came into the pit, so by the time Philip and Invictus and James definitely come into the pits, they should be behind Dave here.
I mean, it just comes down to how much Dave gets held up when he's clearing this traffic that he's got to deal with.
Yeah, that is true. Back up towards the front. Ryan and Jav closing back in on Invictus, and
James seems to be slowly but surely closing in on those guys as well.
mean, here's the thing now, the mediums, they're not going to be as quick as the hards now. They're going to be around the same pace. And Philip, you can tell he's just losing so much time to Invictus right now.
Yeah. Yeah, those soft tires are definitely past their sell-by date at this point.
Yep, and the ERS of Philip right now,
Yeah,
all the way down into...
Yeah, we've also got Slayer, first driver in this field to make their second pit stop.
He's chucked on a set of hard tyres.
Yes, he's definitely thinking to go to the end from here.
Well, with James closing in, and we got Invictus closing in on Philip as well. Philip should be coming into the pits right now. Yes, he is. So we'll see where Philip comes out compared with...
Yeah, so with Philip making that pit stop and James goes in, it's not going to be long until we have a four-way fight for the lead of this race. And James disconnects again.
I mean... He did get fastest lap at the same time, but is that... do we count the fastest lap? Because it was his AI that crossed the line.
I think
Invictus! Invictus is gone!
Oh no. Not what the McLaren driver would have been hoping for. That's a massive dent in his race now. But
oh, he just picked up another 3-second time penalty.
Well, I've got no idea how the time penalties of the cars ahead of him are looking, so he might not be completely out of it.
I mean, he has got to make that second pit stop as well.
Well, you never know, he could try and force his tyres to the end.
Right now, the way things are looking, the top three, I think, are going to be the top three for quite some time. James will be pitting again soon.
I think the next person to challenge the top three will be Dave.
Yep, Dave currently in 6th place, but going to the end of this race. And then we got Philip then, around about 5 seconds back from Dave.
It also looks like Jav not quite able to match the pace of Ryan B ahead of him. The Mercedes has just pulled out of the DRS range for now.
Yep, and Jav right back in it again.
Yeah.
Just makes a mistake into turn 1. I mean, this corner, you've got to be able to carry the speed to keep the time up. And I think he's just dropped out of DRS. No, he's just inside it.
Jav's just managed to get DRS, but Ryan B's getting DRS off some lap traffic. So.
Okay, plus we got Ibo and Philip getting out of the way. As James has joined once again, but
All the way down.
oh, his AI pitted on the softs.
Yeah.
James will not be happy with that.
I think those softs will make it to the end, but it's going to be a hard ask for him to fight his way back up to where he was before he disconnected.
I mean, he should be able to fly through the likes of Jordan and Steven up ahead. Swip, I think, will be making another pit stop, so he could make his way back up into P8.
But it's unlikely that James will get much higher than that.
Well, we have just seen Invictus pick up 2 time penalties, and into the pits comes Invictus. Whip JMB into the pits as well.
Invictus going for another set of medium tyres, but he's got a 5-second stop go penalty that he had to serve.
Ooh, now that is definitely gonna drop him quite some way back. So just just kind of recapping once again now. So we got Dave in fourth. I haven't seen a penalty come up for Dave Javu yet.
I think he might have one, but I think that's possibly the least out of everyone here. There's been penalties left, right and centre in this race.
Well, he is going to have Sven for company for a few laps. Philip is closing in on those mediums, and he should be able to catch him by the end of the race.
Yeah, he might be able to catch them, but I don't know if he'll actually be able to do much to try and get past. Because by that point his mediums will be starting to deteriorate quite a lot. Oh,
Yep.
and Dave running wide out of turn 12 might give Sven a chance to close up a bit.
Nope, Sven just a bit too far back there. But what that does do, it does give Bosnia a bit of breathing space.
Yeah. With 9-second gap, Dave's going to have to be gaining basically a second a lap to even catch up to the back of that McLaren. Which isn't impossible, but it's going to take him not having any distractions from like Sven or Philip behind.
Yep, and Dave is actually trying to gap Sven. There's 8 tenths, but Sven will just close that back up in DRS. And here he goes. So it was 8 tenths, and now it's down to about 4 tenths. Meanwhile, up the front, Jav's still just keeping it behind Ryan B at the moment.
I can't remember what the penalty situation between them is like, so this could be Jav being told that he has less penalties than Ryan being just sitting behind him and waiting this out. Or it could also just be the fact that Ryan B might just have more natural pace.
Well, here's the thing, Ryan B right now is on 60% DRS compared to Jav, who's on around about 15, so Jav is pushing to keep with Ryan B.
But then you get looking at United Bosnia, who could probably close in a bit if he used some more of his battery. It's currently sitting at 100%.
Yeah, he really needs to use that overtake button a bit. Well, right now it looks like Sven outside of DRS. He didn't have it on that back straight, so this is an opportunity for Dave to try and pull away.
Yeah, it looks like Dave managed to break out the 1 second gap, but Sven possibly running lower wings than him, because he managed to close in about a tenth down that back straight, and again we see James disconnecting from this session. I wonder if that's a sign for things to come in the following season for James.
I mean, I'm pretty sure James is probably used to it by now, but it's never nice. As he has rejoined again. And you were mentioning Dave needs to close in around about a second a lap. He has brought that gap down to 8.3.
Yeah. On to Flip.
Oh, Flip.
Yeah, pulls into the pits and retires the car. Flip, another driver, obviously not very happy with how this race has gone.
Yeah, not at all. And now we got Philip coming up to the back of Sven now on those mediums. Now this is going to be interesting. 2.5 seconds between Philip and Dave as my...
Yeah, I can't see it now either, so
yeah.
just have to wait out the lap and hope that it fixes itself. But yeah, Philip closing right into the back of that pink Racing Point machine.
Yep, the pink Mercedes being hunted down by the... I would say white Mercedes, but it's Williams, like, you know, the white car. It was easier when they looked like a tough pace brand. But yep, Philip now all over the back of the...
had yellow flags in sector 2 there. So it's like, I think it was just Ivo getting out of the way of people maybe.
Yep, and according to my screen, Ivo on 29 lap old mediums.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. So Ivo did 8 laps in these mediums before the race started. So what's that, donuts in the car park or something?
Well, Philip now has managed to get the move done on Sven into turn 1 around the outside.
And now Philip within 2 seconds of Dave, and it's looking like he might be able to close that gap down a bit as well.
Yeah, those mediums are going to be quicker at the moment. And it looks like Dave is losing a bit of pace because he's 9.3 behind Bosnia now.
I don't know if that's mistakes coming in or Dave just not quite able to handle the tyres as they're starting to get more worn, but yeah, he's definitely not lapping as quickly as he was even just 2 or 3 laps ago.
It looks like Java's made a mistake as well, because he's 2.2 behind Ryan B and Bosnia now 3.8 behind him. So Java, I think, has lost 2 seconds somewhere.
Our third retirement of the evening is Craigie. Parks up his car. He's had enough.
That is unfortunate for Craigie. But as we move on to lap 22 of 27, who's caught your eye in this race right now?
I mean, Ryan B is seemingly driving away with this, as things are. But it'll be a wonder to see what actually happens come the end of the race with the time penalty situation.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm impressed with the man, the myth, the legend that is Ivo. Look at him on 31 lap old mediums.
If tyres are getting about 3 laps of wear a lap according to our telemetry.
I just saw DJ Mikey going wide on the exit of turn 2, losing 2 spots to Invictus and Jamesy, dropping outside the top 10.
Yeah, now we've got Philip within basically within half a second of Dave Javert, fighting for 4th position. It's looking like Philip's going to take 4th position off of Dave.
Yep, and not only that, United Bosnia within a 3-second time penalty of Java up ahead.
Yeah, that could end up being massive for United Bosnia's race tonight.
Let's have a look who's got the fastest lap. Who has it? Well, right now James has the fastest lap, which I think was still set by his AI.
Yes, that was the lap that was finished by his AI.
As Philip all over the back, and I think he's just got around the outside.
Around the outside, the exit of turn 2. Great move from Philip there.
Yep, and now he's up into 4th place, and I think that is probably going to be the maximum he's going to get. 10.6 seconds is a bit of a gap.
That's going to be his lot on track at least. There has been quite a few penalties that I've got no idea if possible for him to gain any more through time penalties.
Yep, and obviously now those mediums are going to start to struggle a bit, and United Bosnia now within
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Yeah, it appears like Jav slowing down just a wee bit, but Bosnia, yeah, definitely finding something else to push with that car. That's Philip picking up a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help him out trying to get himself onto that podium tonight.
Yep, and that could actually cost him 4th place.
I mean, it's not impossible for it to cost him more than just 4th place. Sven within pretty much 3 seconds of where Philip is currently.
Yep, and if that's Philip's second penalty, then he's in major
Then
trouble.
Dave going around the outside into turn 1.
And
Yeah,
that's
he's made
going to
the
be a
move.
warning there. That's going to be a
Yeah.
warning for Philip. They both spent on ERS. Ooh,
And Philip
Philip.
diving on the inside, that's a bit of a aggressive move.
Yeah, reminiscence of you and Tiggerby last season in D3.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
But Philip just charges past Dave with DRS there.
Yeah, it just begs to wonder why these guys are actually fighting so hard. When all it's really doing is stopping them having any chance at all of gaining positions due to time penalties.
I think they might have the same amount of time penalties, so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. United Bosnia now almost within DRS range.
Yeah, and he's still got so 3 laps left in this race in which to catch and pass that Renault. It's looking likely that we're going to have a decent battle between these two guys for second place on track.
Yep, not just that. No, Ryan B, he may be 4.5 seconds clear. But he needs to be careful on track limits, because if he picks up another one, he could end up losing the top step.
Yeah, as Dave pick up 3-second time penalty, that is, I think that'll be basically his chances of the podium gone.
Yep, as United Bosnia, DRS wide open. Here we go, he's closing in.
It's not closing in enough to get the move done here, but it's definitely going to help out in the future.
But both of these guys within 6 seconds of Ryan B. If Ryan B's got 2 more penalties, he's in trouble.
And it seems like Ryan B isn't really, I mean, he's still pulling ahead a bit, but he's not pulling ahead that much anymore. His pace is sort of stagnating at this point.
Yeah, and I was going to say as well, with Philip and Dave picking up those 3-second time penalties quite recently, it might be a reprieve right now for Sven.
Yeah, Sven could end up profiting quite well from those time penalties.
And we got a nice little scrap going on for Place, as I say that, Invictus
Yeah,
has
Invictus.
gone into the wall.
Yeah. United Bosnia picking for 3-second time penalty, that could be crucial for the race. Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say, we were going to have a nice little freeway scrap for 8th between Stephen, James and Invictus, but that was just the 2-man scrap between the Alpha Tauri and the Mercedes. As United Bosnia and Jav, side by side, Jav able to defend though. I think Jav wants this.
Yeah, even if one, like, they're going to end up dropping positions due to time penalties, they're still going to want to be able to say that they got second on track.
Yeah, especially. Oh, I mean, we both know Jav.
Yeah.
he wasn't previously on the previous game in a position like this before, so he really wants this.
Because I may be wrong.
Oh, Philip's gone.
Yeah. Oh no. No, I may be wrong about Jav, but if he does get podium time, would that be his... I know it's just a evaluation, but would that be his first LOE podium?
I believe it would. From what I remember from last season, I know he was a reserve last season, but he was usually battling towards the bottom end of the points last season.
Yeah.
So, last attempt for United Bosnia to get past Jav here.
It's looking like he's close enough that he might have a chance into the chicane here.
Jav defends the inside.
Yeah.
Jav can't outbreak
But United Bosnia are just sweep from the outside.
Jasper picks up another 3-second time penalty. Philip going past Sven now for 5th.
Philip retaking possession from Sven, but he's not going to have the chance of retaking 4th place on track at least.
Nope,
Smitsky backing his car up on the second last lap for him.
I believe he's coming into the pits to retire.
Yeah, he has retired as Ryan B rounds the final corner. And we'll just have to wait and see if that is actually a win from Mercedes driver. It's looking likely.
Yep, and Jav gets second. So that final 3-second time penalty from United Bosnia did matter.
Yeah.
Uh,
4, 5, 6 staying in exactly the same positions after time penalties.
Yep, Jordan had 1 time penalty less, so he does close in by 3 seconds, but it's not enough.
James hops up to 8th. DJ Mike
And
into... Oh wait, or is it Swip? Yeah, it's Swip.
Yeah, Swip, and then Victus into 12th. And Jasper rounds the final corner to end this race. Well, let's see who the game thinks was driver of the day.
Jordan, apparently.
I'm trying to think of the algorithm in how they pick driver of the day on this. It's got to be penalties.
That'll be penalties and start position compared to end position. Jordan started P14 and made it up to 7th.
Well, there he is, the man on the top step of the podium, Ryan B. I believe that's his first win since Hungary last season in D4, but he takes a win here. And from the looks of it, a very close battle with him and Jav for majority of that race, but once Ryan started to stretch his legs, Jav couldn't keep up. And that put him under pressure from United Bosnia.
Yeah, Ryan B definitely seemed to have the more consistent pace compared to his competitors of Jav and United Bosnia this evening.
Yep, so we'll run you through the orders one last time. So Ryan B is our race winner, Jav in second, United Bosnia in third is our podium. Dave, fantastic result, 11th to 4th for him. 5th is Philip, Sven in 6th, Jordan JT 7th, James in 8th, Stephen in 9th, Swip JMB rounds out the top 10 with DJ Mikey 11th, Invictus 12th, Slayer, Cloudy Cloud, Jasper, Smitsky, Ibo, Craigie Craig, Flip and Alt Maverick rounding out the rest of the grid. Well,
Yeah, so I'm not sure about you, but I'd say driver of the day this evening. For me, it's either Dave or Ryan B.
now I would agree with that. Just on the fact that Ryan B's pace was brilliant and Dave, great strategy to get himself up into fourth. However,
Yeah,
I'm going to go with Jav just because of the shock value of seeing Jav up there.
yeah,
I mean, a great turnaround from the last game for the young Spaniard.
yeah, and it was a great drive from him this evening.
Yep, and I believe we have one more preseason race, don't we? But
I think so. Yes, I think it's Silverstone next week.
yeah, I think Silverstone. But we do have the divisions that are being announced before that, so make sure you guys keep an eye out on the League of Europe F1 channel. Hopefully next time I commentate I'll actually be able to stream on the channel and it don't give me all this aggro. But until next time, guys, I've been Mike, joined by Ton
I've been.
Albanak,
Yep.
and we'll catch you in the next one.